Welcome to the show.
This is The Adults Are Talking, and today we're talking about Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis has dementia.
Oh.
Yeah, I think a lot of us knew that already, but the latest news is that his family, his wife, moved him into a home, a care facility, or I'm not sure what exactly, but they moved him out of the house into a place where he can get 24-hour care.
Yeah, from what I read, and maybe I read this incorrectly because I got it off of E-News. They're so resourceful.
Right.
But apparently it sounds like they, meaning Bruce and his wife, Emma, I think is her name, they have more than one home. And so he's used to this home and he just kind of stayed at that home, and that's become the facility for 24-hour care. Yeah, and she has kind of moved out and with the girls because they have teenage daughters, and they live in another home of theirs. And so it's familiar for him, but he's just not with them because something about with the dementia, he's super sensitive to loud noises. So it's just quieter for him. But he has like care, but also all of the family, his girls from Demi's marriage, the three, they visit every day, and Demi, and then his current wife and daughters, everybody and friends, someone's there every day visiting.
I see. And so I guess his wife is getting a lot of heat online because they've moved him out of the home into one of their other homes or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, people are upset that she's moved him out of the house and gives this impression that she's no longer caring for him. But it's not the case. And I think something that needs to be highlighted here is that, you and I both have experience with caregiving. And so we know, but a lot of people don't know that caring for someone with one of these, I don't know what you want to call it, illnesses is challenging. But dementia in particularly is especially difficult because the person can get violent.
Yes.
They can become hostile. And I'm not saying that's the case here with Bruce Willis. I'm just saying that's what happens sometimes. So we don't know exactly what all is happening there. But in her defense, caring for someone with dementia is difficult.
It's very taxing.
It's more than just caring for someone who is losing their memory. People with dementia, they act out in different ways. And like you mentioned, he's very sensitive to loud noises. And so it probably makes it difficult for their young kids to be kids.
Yeah.
And he probably is better suited in an environment away from them.
Yeah. And it's just, there's so much to it, like physically too. He's not a frail man, know, so he's some point and he's not getting,
he's John McClane.
He's not going to get any better. They only get worse over time, sadly. But it's like someone's going to have to move him physically from here to there and do all this stuff for him. And she's the, they're not equipped to do that. You need professionals to do that.
I can tell you from my experience as a male caregiver, I was very in demand because I was able to lift male patients.
Yes.
Or even heavier female patients, because a lot of other caregivers were female and just weren't able to physically handle the heavier patients. So, yeah, I know we all want to do everything we can for our family members, but sometimes it's just too much for us.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a lot. There's the shock factor of it, because you're seeing body parts. You're seeing having
to change them or whatever.
I mean, for a spouse it's not as terrible, but if you're squeamish, you don't want to be dealing with so much excrement, let's just say, and there's a lot of it sometimes, and it can be overwhelming, I know my mom had to deal with that, and it was just really hard on her. But it's difficult. It's not an easy thing at all.
Yeah, it's, there are some people who want to dump their family members off at a care facility.
Mm-hmm.
People who are perfectly within their ability to care for, but they just don't want to make the time or take the effort to do that. So there are those people.
Yeah.
But, there are others where it's just too much for them. And we're not going to fault someone. We shouldn't fault someone for doing that. But as you mentioned in our previous conversation, what is their fault is
just dumping them off and letting them rot like a plant. I mean,
never visiting them.
Yeah, because we had a relative that was your uncle that was in a care facility, but your mom and you and your brothers would go visit regularly. And it's when you go regularly to a facility and you see the amount of people that never get anyone visiting them ever, it is really sad. It's depressing.
Some churches and congregations have a special ministry or thing where they go and they visit these convalescent hospitals, rest homes. But I don't know how it is now after COVID, after, they got hit really hard with COVID. And so I don't know how easy it is to do now. Mm-hmm. But if it's still accessible, that is something, if you're looking for ways to impact your community, do some good.
Yeah.
I know it would be greatly appreciated by not just the people you visit, but the staff.
The staff.
They're always understaffed and overworked. And we've talked to them, and it just breaks their hearts to see these people never get visitors.
I used to belong to a congregation, and we would do Christmas caroling, and you wouldn't believe the faces that would just light up, and they would try to sing along, and it was just so moving to see it. And it was just kind of sad to me, thinking, gosh, we only do this once a year. Like, it's like they really need more visitors and stuff. It's a really good thing to do. I know our son, we were visiting our friend's mom. Our son at the time, when he was really little, would dress up, and he was really into costumes for like superheroes, and he would wear a different superhero costume, and the elderly would just get so excited when he go, they're like, it's Spider-Man is here.
Yeah, they love that.
Yeah. Sometimes you get someone that's angry about it, where, I think it was her mom who didn't like that he was Spider-Man. We started yelling at him.
This is probably a difficult decision, and they didn't take it lightly, moving Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
But if they did, it's probably because it just became too much. Because if they really were interested in dumping him off, they would have done that right from the beginning.
Yeah.
They kept him in the house for a long time.
Yeah.
And were taking care of him themselves, the family.
The whole family, yeah.
And so I think if they were really interested in just like avoiding and washing their hands of the whole thing, they would have done it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
To me, this seems like it just became more than that they could handle. And they're also having to think about their young children. They need an environment where they can be kids.
I think it's like she's like 11 and 13 of the girls. So that's still young. I mean, they're not little kids, but, they got to have teenage life, and that's got to be really hard with your dad needing that much care 24/7.
Yeah. And, their schedules probably getting busy, activities and whatnot. Yeah. And, life does go on. And like you said, what's important is you maintain a connection and you keep visiting.
Yeah, what touched my heart is the fact that, Demi is divorced from it, and she still visits him. All the girls from both marriages visit, and the wife does too. They act like she, like you said, people are acting like she just dumped him off. It's already a home of theirs in the first place, but it's like she's actively in his life. She didn't forget about him and just go make some other babies with some other young guy.
Right.
What's really weird though is the wife looks so much like Demi, but just taller. And then they have all these daughters, and they all kind of look like.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's got to be confusing to Bruce. Poor Bruce. Like,
he doesn't have dementia. His family just all looks alike.
It's just like a harem of women that are dark haired, It's crazy. But I mean, kudos to the family for looking out for him and everybody pitching in, because I'm sure it helps. It makes his life more meaningful.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to care for someone who's got Alzheimer's or any kind of aging illness. But dementia in particularly is especially challenging.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any kind of caregiving experience, it can be very, very overwhelming.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is very
because
true.
It is even to those who do have experience.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when we've talked to people that have been in the industry a long time with caregiving, they say that Lewy bodies and Alzheimer's, everything under that dementia umbrella, is the hardest patients to care for. It's because it's spiritually taxing as well as physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're having to care for someone who sometimes is like yelling and cursing and wanting to hit you.
Yeah. Well, we experienced that.
Yeah. They're cursing you out. They're wanting to literally fight you. And all you want to do is feed them their corn. And, and so it's very difficult because it can easily take it personal, and it's not.
It's never personal. Yeah.
They're just not well in the head anymore.
No.
And, that's what it takes to be a professional in that kind of job. You have to make sure you don't take that abuse personal.
Yeah, and it is like Groundhog's Day every day there, but there's moments where they have moments of clarity, and you got to watch yourself because they do sometimes know who you are, and they do know the treatment. So, but yeah, you can't take the the bad stuff personal, because it's not at all.
So let us know if you've currently dealing with something like this, or you've dealt with something like this. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Bruce Willis situation.
Bruce and his harem of women.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. And
thanks for listening.